Gloria Anzalua speaks of living in the borderlands. She states, "The borderlands are physically present wherever two or more cultures edge each other, where people of different races occupy the same territory, where under, lower, middle, and upper classes touch, where the space between two individuals shrinks with intimacy." In paranoia, fear of judgment never being enough, mixed ethnic heritage some say is tough, but let me explain where my mind runs. My mom, my dad. Two separate worlds, and when they came into collision with one another, they created me. M.E. mixed ethnicities to the T. My mom came here when she was 18, young and naive, but with dreams of opportunity.
I came to America, I left China in 1981. I graduated from high school. I came to Hawaii first. Went to Hawaii. My aunt was living there at that time, and she helped me to get into this school called English as a second language. So I went there.
Accent heavy when she spoke. Jejuan was her real name, soon to be Americanized Kathy. They call her here in America.
That meant my girlfriend who came from Taiwan, she said she has a shop in Waikiki, the tourist area. She told me this guy wants to learn Chinese. Then one day I was in her shop, this guy came in, she said, "Oh, that's the guy he wants to learn Chinese." So his name is Ralph Ford.
My name is Ralph Ford. My serial number is the... I was born and raised in Fort Collins. I'm a produce guy. I'm a local guy. I left Fort Collins for 10 years, and then I come back home. And now I'm home.
So I talked to him, then we met. So my aunt, a few months later, my aunt think I should get married. So I got married. Then we moved to Virgin Island to help my aunt start business.
Phone rings. It's Nabu. Well, I need Nabu. I love you, Grandma. The only phrase I can say to try to relate, you see, our languages meet us at the same fate. I am limited to an English tongue the same way she is limited to a Chinese one.
So she prefers to stay with the Chinese people, whoever speak Chinese. So she gets nervous even talking to Kimberly and to Betty, because Betty, you both don't speak the language. And she prefers just don't say much at all, you know. She feels embarrassed, she don't know what to say, you know.
It's sad. It's sad because I'm missing out on an entire part of my history because I don't know the language.
And she actually very happy thinking Betty's going to Taiwan to learn Chinese.
Mi abuela, on the other hand, well, we can talk a little more fluently. My grandmother speaks of growing up on the island, picking mangoes from the tree in the backyard, and coming inside to tostones on the table. Puerto Rican mixed. My dad torn from a cultural identity, only to degrade himself as an object of comedy for his friends. You see, you have to understand. Growing up in Fort Collins in the 60s and repping a Puerto Rican flag was not part of the plan.
My mom, I think she was reluctant to teach us Spanish because of the environment in Fort Collins at that time, and my dad, always spoke English. And so I don't know if he told her that she wasn't supposed to speak Spanish in the house, or didn't like it, and that they only wanted us to learn English, because that's just the way it was.
If you want to really hurt me, talk badly about my language. Ethnic identity is twin skin to linguistic identity. I am my language. Until I can take pride in my language, I cannot take pride in myself. I make fun of myself for not knowing Chinese and speaking Spanish with an awful accent. On the inside, I bleed. Location, my heart. It is where my ancestry knows what I should know, in hopes I will feel the pain, get up to move and remember the words of art, of history, the words that my mother speaks. A veces no soy nada ni nadie.
Did you ever learn Chinese? No. Did I encourage your mom to teach you Chinese? Yes.
So I asked my mom, do you ever wish that you would have taught us Chinese or continued to speak to us in Chinese when we were little growing up?
Yeah, I wish I did at least talk to you guys. If you don't speak, at least you would know what I'm talking about. You know? I will talk about. So, yeah, I wish I did continue talking to you. But I think it's just because it's hard at that time thinking, oh, everybody else speaks English and your father doesn't speak the language and, you know.
So feeling left out of part of my culture for not knowing Chinese, a part of me also told myself, go to Puerto Rico, at least learn Spanish. On August 4th, 2010, I started a 4-month journey to Puerto Rico and had one of the most eye-opening experiences a young 20-year-old could ever have. When I came back from my 4-month journey to Puerto Rico, my mom never asked me about one of the most life-changing things I have ever done. She never asked me about what I learned, my friends, things that I'm proud of, the experience in general. She hasn't even asked to look at pictures. And everyone likes the beach. So I asked her, do you understand the reasons that I wanted to go?
I think I did a little bit. I heard from your sister because that's part of your Puerto Rican roots. You want to know the other side of family, how people, the culture is. I kind of know, yeah.
Because when I got back from Puerto Rico, my grandmother and I, ever since, we've been a little more closer. I understand my grandmother's cultural ways, that before I just saw them as her, but now I see the culture and the tradition behind her actions and words.
What did you used to do?
All kind of stuff. Flowers with my mom and stuff. Made a lot of flowers. All kind of stuff. Now I show my granddaughter how to do it.
This is warm. This is freshly brewed. This is freshly brewed coffee. Which is almost 10 o'clock. Gloria Anzaldúa states, the alien element has become familiar, never comfortable. Not comfortable, but home.
You're always searching, you're always searching for, it's kind of like identity, but not, I think you can celebrate the fact that you are a mixed culture and just leave it at that,
I feel like you more look like a Puerto Rican, maybe Puerto Rican in the that part, because the way you're so tall and you kind of big bone. Because in Puerto Rican, Chinese people not that big bone, kind of smaller. But yeah, I don't see so many part of you as a Chinese, not too much. Your sister, yes, she's short and she's petite, she more look like Chinese. And the people look at her, they say, no, she's Chinese, But you when you don't have a makeup on, maybe sometimes you more look like Chinese. Just look at your face and stuff. Yeah.
I'm the Chinese woman with curly hair, the Puerto Rican with normal hair, the Puerto Rican with a weird accent. I'm the American that people wonder where I'm from. I'm the non-American citizen. I'm the Chinese woman with too dark of a tan, the light-skinned Puerto Rican, the Chinese with a double eyelid, the Puerto Rican with the slanted eyes, the Chinese woman that needs to tighten up her frame, the Boricua with curves that has Papi say, okay. I am the good Puerto Rican for seeing the island. And on the island, I'm a bad Puerto Rican for assimilating to the culture that my grandmother came to.
I mean, you've been exploring the Puerto Rican side of the family quite a bit, and then your sister's been doing a good job with the Chinese side of the family.
I see my mother's eyes light up when she speaks to my sister who just moved to Taiwan to learn Chinese so she can talk to our grandmother Nabu. And I know that if I don't learn Chinese, I will feel like the insignificant daughter that can't relate to my mom the way my older sister does.
Hopefully someday you kind of attempt to learn some Chinese, maybe get to know Betty's 老师.
I am a collision of cultures, seeing two different worlds but loving both with pride. I am constantly misunderstood by both sides sometimes.
你好吗？你好了吗？你忙吗？忙不忙吗？
You are very, very Americanized, okay? The way you're thinking, the way you're doing things.
I am a turtle. Wherever I go, I carry home on my back. Within the journey, there is always beauty. There is always beauty within the mixing of cultures.
Well, I went to Puerto Rico with him. He told me about, his grandma lived in Puerto Rico. I met his grandma. I met his grandma. I met your great-grandma, Ralph's grandma.
Really?
Yeah, I met her. She is the sweetest lady too. She's so cute. She cooked the Puerto Rican dishes, plantain, and yeah, I learned a few words from her. She said cansado. She's tired. She cooks some food. She sit down and she's tired.
You gotta try to find yourself. Eventually it just makes you, what are you about?
Then you will be familiar with some Chinese and Spanish, see?
I am the China Rican, Boricuanese, Chiniqua, call me what you please. And I will continue to define what being Chinese and Puerto Rican means to me.